You don't love your kids the same because Ethan is never there. Why is Ethan never whatever? Us want to see Ethan. And I'm like, he doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be on Instagram. And also, concept of equating love to who somebody has posted on social media, crazy. Some of you are always posting your man, but you're cheating on him.
Wow, that took a dark turn.
Hi guys, Murugi Muni here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's Definitely TMI. Finally,
boom,
you did it. Now you're looking like you're a team. You're looking like you know what you're doing. My gosh. Wow. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? We hope you're doing amazing. You know, me and you say that the same thing on our Insta stories. And I think I started saying it because of you. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing amazing.
Yeah.
I say that as well.
Really?
Yeah, you would know if you watched my stories, but you don't.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if you see that it's affecting us, so I'm going to start watching
You
them.
said that last week or whatever, whenever we talked. Me, I'm going to stop watching yours now so you can see how it feels.
No way,
yeah,
babe.
I'm taking away one view from your 50,000 and I hope it makes a difference. Anyway, guys, welcome to this episode. We hope you guys are doing amazing. Look at you. You've made it to the end of January. Congratulations.
I know.
Congratulations.
First of all, once you make it past the year that is January,
honestly,
the year is done.
Yeah.
The year, you've already made the year
You
already.
know, but I feel like end of January is like, it's difficult for several reasons. Like one, it's like, oh, wow, a whole month has gone by. You only have 11 to go. What have you done?
Oh, God.
Pressure already pressure.
And also, I feel like January, there's a forgiveness we give each other.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you overspent around Christmas. Maybe you're not
put
as
on weight
motivated.
and
Whatever
ate
the
too
case.
much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's just like this kind of forgiveness.
Yeah.
But then February comes and
What
it's
are
just
you
like,
There's nothing. That's the thing.
wow.
Now
Like you
life
really
is
need to
life is starting.
get
like,
on it.
for real, yeah.
So last year when I first started when I started the year, I was like, no pressure. I feel like that's the vibe.
That should be the
Because
vibe.
guess what?
Yeah.
You end up doing more. You end up doing more because you're not giving yourself so much pressure.
Or you end up trying to do so much at the beginning of the year, then you get too tired, and then you end up having a March, April, May, June, July, August, September break because you're going through a creative block. And then by the time you come out of the creative block, it's the end of the year and you're like, you know what? Let's just start again next year. That's what we don't want.
We don't
want that for sure.
Don't want that.
Anyway, guys, we really hope that you had an amazing January. If you follow us on social media, then you already know how our January was. We hope that you do follow us on social media. Our handles are Murugi Muni, Lydia KM, and TMI Podcast KE. Absolutely everywhere. Please do not continue this episode before subscribing. If you enjoy our content, if you'd like to see more of our content, if you'd like to support us in bringing you continued amazing content, please do subscribe. It really does help us and our channels. So in our last episode, thank you guys, by the way, for all the feedback from our last episode. We were talking about, an in-betweener once said, and really going through like the feedback that we've gotten, which as Lydia said at the end of that episode, a lot of it is positive. A lot of it is positive. Majority is positive. But sometimes, obviously, it's like when you're getting so much praise, everyone's like, oh, you look great, you look fantastic. Until one person says, oh, that top doesn't flatter you. And that's the one.
That's the one,
that you're going to focus on.
Bad feelings feel worse than good feelings feel good.
I know exactly what that. Yeah, they really do.
So
and
it makes sense.
It really does make sense, and it really got us thinking about social media and how much social media can actually affect our day-to-day lives. Even in that episode, you were talking about how sometimes some of the things that people have said on TMI have impacted you in like your own life, like when you moved out with with that the person and like when you guys broke up, and even like the stuff that people have said about your healing journey and whatever, and sometimes it actually starts to affect you physically. And so it got us thinking about what is the good side of social media, what is the bad side of social media, what is the ugly side of social media. Right?
Social media is powerful, and it's allowed us obviously to be able to have a living, to be able to have a podcast, to grow our wealth. It's an amazing tool, but it almost feels like it wasn't supposed to be for
like
humans.
This. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, were we supposed to have it? Because the way we misuse it is crazy.
Yeah, it's
but I actually
crazy.
think that social media is more, it's like it allowed us to see each other more. So this is actually the world. It's a reflection of the world.
Yeah.
The people who troll you are people who are trolling you.
yeah.
The people who are good to you are people who are good to you. It's just like, it's a way of expressing yourself. So
Yeah.
I think it's a reflection of what the world is like. And sometimes it's just like, wow, what an amazing
crazy.
world. And other times,
yeah,
dump.
It's
What a trash bag we live in.
Trash bag. For me, I even wonder, like, when I look at how huge a role social media plays in our day-to-day lives right now, like literally talking to anyone, clients, work, whatever, travel. Literally, what was life before social media? Because it's like, it's a part of everything that we do, everything.
Yeah. But I feel like life before social media, people are more connected. Like, okay, now we're able to communicate to more people.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was more connection. Like, you when you go to see your mom, you just go and see your mom.
Yeah.
And you sit and you talk to her.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Exactly. Or like, you're just more, people are a lot more present, but of course, everything has its good and its bad. So, but yeah, I can imagine things were a bit simpler. Actually, my mom was talking about this when we did the Healers Branch, how after she went through her separation with my dad, at that time there was no social media. There was no even phones. Yeah, like it was maybe like
mobile phones.
Yeah, there was
and
no
things,
mobile phones. So she felt like it was easier in that way. That if I really don't see you, then I don't see you. Like I won't see you. I want to know what's going on with you. Nothing.
Yeah. Now it's like you
Weird.
get to connect with people. I mean, sometimes it's like people you don't even want to connect with. Like you see someone who was like your friend in primary school or whatever, and now you're like, wow, oh my God, they got so tall. Or they got so, now they have 5 kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's good in the sense that people who you never would have connected with again, now you get to connect with them.
To do it in a much easier way.
But also it's strange. Okay, now we've already gotten into the points, but also it's strange because then you start comparing yourself. Like, you haven't seen this person since primary school, and now it's like, oh, we were at the same stage then. Now they have a Fortune 500 company and they're on top 40 under 40 on Business Daily. And what are you?
Yeah, so I guess that's the first one. The negative one is the constant comparison with other people. And the worst part of it, and I think I said this in the last episode, you are no, I don't think I did say it, but anyway, let me say it here. You are in your life 100%. Oh, actually, you're the one who said it. You're in your life 100% of the time, but then you see snippets of somebody else's life. And I said even before, like, the disconnection through my healing journey was that it's like you're not seeing, you can't see my pain really unless I'm like videoing my crying or something. Somebody had messaged me, like, Lydia, are you always positive or something like that? And I articulated that, obviously not. And because I was going through something really difficult, it's like, of course I'm not happy all the time, and bad things happen to me too, or difficult things happen to me too. But somebody said it's the reason why there seems to be an off balance is because the good days are seen, but the bad days are said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so then that's
yes,
why there's a off balance with how people seem.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like your life looks so perfect, right? But it's like, am I going to really tell you like the raging argument I had, or the time I was really sad, or I can only tell you because I can't show you.
And that's the
off balance.
And this is the funny thing about social media is like, if I get these comments all the time. It's like, oh, your marriage looks perfect, your home looks perfect, your kids look perfect, and it's like, obviously, when I have a fight with my husband, I'm not going to come on and just be like, oh my God, guys, so me and Zach just had a fight. He said this. I said, you're such an annoying man. And he said, you're such a bitch. And then I'm crying. And then funny thing, people are always on social media telling you, you should show your real life and even the bad moments. The second anyone does a video crying on social media,
you're so
inauthentic. And they're the same people making fun of you. Me, you can never. I can't.
No.
I can't.
And also,
do it.
it's like it's like in the moment I'm feeling something like that, feeling that something that difficult. I want to be in that because it's difficult. It's sad. It's like I want to just sit here and cry.
I know, it's so annoying. So the other day, a popular Instagram mom posted she was having a very difficult moment with her kids. We're always talking about this particular content creator. So she was having a difficult moment with her kids, and it's like her kids had been sick, and she was talking about how she's not slept in 4 days because like the kids have been sick, and she's been just taking care of them. She feels so spent. She's just so tired. And then, of course, already when I saw that post, I was like, I know someone is coming for her. I'm just certain. And someone had commented and said, hi, I don't even really understand, like, why do you never give anyone else to hold your kids? Why don't you get anyone else to help you? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. What's the point of having your nannies and your house helps and whatever? And she responded in a raging way. Like, she was raging, which I understood where this babe was coming from. And I understood where the content creator was coming from, because she was like, you can't ever judge anyone and whatever, troll them. Because the message didn't seem trolling to me. It just seemed like a genuine question. But she was like, you know, when your kids are sick, they just need you. So I can't pass up that responsibility to anyone else and things like that. And I was like, I find myself in a quagmire with such things, because I'm like, to one extent, it's like you're showing us the difficult moments, which people are always saying, yeah, be open about your struggle. But then obviously as a content creator, not even as a content creator, as just a person who creates content or anyone who posts anything, you have to know that people are going to make comments about those things. And then now it becomes a cycle of like, you post something which is real, people say, why are you doing it like that? You get mad and hit back at them. And then they are now just like, it just ends up being this like, so now should you be vulnerable or should you not be vulnerable?
Yeah. I had, first of all,
a lot.
Whoa,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. But that, I can imagine that sucks to be vulnerable, because now when a piece of content is like tied to your sense of vulnerability, now it's not just a picture. Now it's not just a video. It's like something that's too connected to me.
Yeah.
So then that means when you do say something about it, especially something like that, it's more likely to be triggering, to be fair.
Yeah.
I know there was so much micromanaging, and I actually saw Tia Mori. She was talking about how people are micromanaging her healing journey as she goes through.
You can relate.
Her divorce. Yeah, it's like it's so much micromanaging. It's like, why are you not doing it like this? This way is not the best way. Then when you do it that way, then there's someone else who's going to be like, actually, one of the things I had done a post and said something like, at this time I'm feeling like I'm somewhere in between, something like that. And then I was like, what are the things I could do around this period where I'm feeling just like there, right? And one of the things is just like, stop sharing your process on social media. But then the second you don't, how inauthentic are you?
It's like, you are showing us your relationship. Now when it's over, you don't want to share.
But then when you do share,
it's a problem, and they're telling you you're being inauthentic and you're pretending.
Yeah. I personally am for, let me live those difficult moments. I could tell you, like, today I had a bad day, but it's like in that moment still, no, I can't even imagine.
And are you going to come on stories and cry? Are you going to come on stories and cry?
No. Even recording myself crying it's
weird. Maybe like you started recording and then at some point happened you are crying. But now you're not sobbing. You're just kind of like little tears are rolling down your cheeks, right? Because
not sobbing.
If you post something sobbing, I think I'm calling you and telling you delete that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll do that. But it does make sense then why social media is kind of a display of seemingly perfect moments, because people are more showing what is good, because some of what's difficult they're not really going to show in the moment that they're experiencing it. Can I ask you a question? How do you feel about let's say like now how especially with kids, like how do you feel about like some moments? I don't know, what do you feel like comfortable to post about your kids and what don't you? Or let's say what don't you, because I guess we know.
Don't, So what I don't feel comfortable posting about my kids is anything private, obviously, like if they didn't have clothes on or something like that, anything which exposes them, or in like moments where they are vulnerable, like very vulnerable. So I don't like posting my kids when like they're crying or they are having a tantrum or they're really upset or something like that, because I feel like that exposes them. And I always ask myself, if I was in a situation where I don't have control over what someone else posts about me, what would I want them not to post? So it's like, even if it's you posting me, I would want you to post me looking nice. I would want you to not post me in something that exposes me, especially if I'm not in a position to come up and defend myself. It's not like Kenny's gonna be like, in that video where I was crying, actually there was this tomato sauce that had poured on my trouser. Like, she can't do that. So I like to paint them in the best light or in the best picture, so that it's not like, you're exposing them and they haven't consented to it. Also, like Ethan now is at an age where he's able to tell me he doesn't want to be on my social media, and so I get many questions like, you don't love your kids the same because Ethan is never there. Why is Ethan never whatever? Us, we want to see Ethan. And I'm like, he doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be on Instagram. And also, concept of equating love to who somebody has posted on social media, crazy. Some of you all always posting your man, but you're cheating on him.
Wow, that took that took a dark turn. I don't even know where we were going. Oh,
We have arrived.
We've arrived. This is our stop, guys.
This sort of using it on social media now, you're like, this is what determines, like, if you've been posting your man, that must mean that you love him.
Yeah.
Or it means he loves you if he's posting you.
No.
Does it?
Does it?
Does it?
Does it? Yeah, I think that's a really good way of analyzing, like putting yourself in their shoes. That's so empathetic, Joe.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
so
Yeah, I really
lovely.
like that. And of course, people have so many different ideas of like social media and like posting your kids. Do you think you would post your kids if you had
For
kids?
sure. I live life out loud.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, I keep saying myself, like, you will never see my other man
Lydia's
ever. This
baby,
is
a
it.
huge emoji.
Yeah.
On the
with
face.
with the love heart.
With the
yeah.
love heart.
I feel like I like to express what I'm feeling out loud. And I guess now that I've seen that I've been able to express something difficult out loud and I didn't die. I just think that's how I'm wired, but of course with a lot of boundaries. Yeah, to make sure that it's like, it's nice. It's like for sharing because you are my child, but making sure there's like
Boundaries,
good enough,
appropriate
healthy boundaries. Yeah.
As we're speaking, guys, we'd love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you think are the good side of social media, the bad side, the ugly side? Is that your phone making a sound?
Gloria, stop sending me reminders.
You're working while we are working? How dare you? Yeah, let us know. How do you feel about posting kids on social media? How do you feel about the whole concept of being empathetic to people online? For me, the worst thing about social media, we haven't really talked about the positive, but anyway, we'll get to that. For me, one of the worst things about social media is people's just ability to be so unkind and mean in a way that they never ever would be to you in person.
Yeah.
The things that people say, imagine a stranger walking up to you on the street and just being like, oh, I don't like that wig on you. They wouldn't. And in reality, the people who follow us or the people who maybe you connect with on social media who aren't your friends, they are just strangers on the internet. And the things that people say to other people is crazy. Like I see comments on people's posts and I'm just like, who are you to even be giving a comment like that? Like, who are you? And I think people like to defend that position and be like, yeah, but if you post something online, then it's open to critique. It is, but why are you saying it in such a mean way?
Yeah.
Like, why do you seem so vested in hurting someone else?
And for me, my question is just because it's open for comment. Cruelty and meanness. It's like that's a choice. It's like it's open. My comments are open. It's true. But what you do say is like it's you. It's your character. It's who you are.
It's who you are. Yeah.
My blog game is strong. Like I don't even care now. Like I don't, because it's just I'm like, it's my page. You get to enjoy my content, right? And then you come and you maybe ruin my day or you say something nasty to me that just leaves me like. And then the next day you get to come and see the affirmations. Affirm yourself.
Affirm yourself.
Affirm yourself.
One thing I've been doing lately, instead of blocking, is restricting. So you can see everything that I'm doing, but you can't comment. You can't do nothing. But you will sit there and watch my rise, watch my success. I do that sometimes.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
It's quite nice.
You've got to have a blog game. And one of the things like I had written, I guess is kind of the same, is the barriers. So when you're here, you're here. So anything that I do say to you, I will immediately face the consequences. You're probably gonna do something. But the phone creates a barrier, a barrier of consequences. So when you do say, oh, you're ugly, nasty bitch, or whatever the case may be, there are no consequences.
None.
No consequence. And human beings, that's an unlimited way of living. So whatever it is that you do, you don't face anything. There is no consequence. You've gone, you've left this nasty comment and done.
Yeah. So I like that barrier of the phone, not for like social media in terms of like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but like having difficult conversations sometimes. But I've seen how it can just be, okay, it's two-sided. For me, when I need to have a difficult conversation, like setting a boundary, you know how I struggle with setting boundaries. It's a lot easier for me to set boundaries when like I'm on WhatsApp. Or like a text, because then I can just be like, oh, let me think about it. I don't have to respond immediately or whatever. And I can just say what I want to say, which I know when you're looking at me here and you're like my
harder.
sister or my whatever, it's really difficult to do it. So I do it over the phone, and I love that I have the barrier, because then I can just send the message and put my phone away and not look at it.
Exactly. But you see that it's because the consequences of what you're going to do
are
further away from you, which is fine. Like you can use the barrier for something else that's positive. But that reason is the same reason why people troll easily.
I know. But now here, I think, I don't know if it's that a double standard that I have, but like my man finds it a lot easier to communicate on text and on WhatsApp. I don't know if this goes for all men. Kindly let us know in the comments.
I think so.
We can have a fight on a Friday night and we may not talk the whole weekend. We won't talk to each other. But Monday morning, he gets to the office, he sent me a text.
Yeah.
Either to apologize or to explain. And for me, it really annoys me because I'm like, no, I want to look at your face. I want you to say the words, I'm sorry, with your mouth. That's what I want to hear. Yeah.
No, the way I'd seen it then is that this is the what's easier for you to be vulnerable, and I'll take that.
No, but me, I like to just see people's faces and to do it. Although now, over time, it used to really annoy me the first few months because me, I felt like it's like you're letting yourself off easy. You know, you're putting yourself there so you don't have to interact with me face to face and feel guilty about what you've done or, you know, have to face the consequences of how much you have hurt me or whatever. So you won't have to see me cry. If I'm crying now in the bathroom by myself. You're not there. So you don't have to feel as bad about it. So me, it felt like the easy way out. But now, lately, I've been like, ultimately what we want is for us to get to the resolution of this whatever. So now I'm not too mad about it, but I always insist that there be once we've had the difficult part of the conversation on phone, now the conclusion be now at least in person.
That makes sense. And I feel like sometimes it could just be a way of like easing into the conversation,
into it,
because it is difficult for men to be vulnerable, and then on top of that, being vulnerable in front of your woman sometimes is not as easy as it is for us. So I think
annoying.
it's at least there's that. You know, at least there's that.
And so what's interesting is that me, I prefer, even if it's like I've done something wrong and I'm saying sorry to someone, I prefer for it to be in person because I really fear being misunderstood or someone not getting the full emotional weight of what it is that I'm saying to them. Like if I'm sorry, I really want you to know that I'm sorry. And the only way you can know is by looking at my eyes and seeing me do this, because otherwise how will you know I'm sorry?
Actually, I've heard that you shouldn't have difficult conversations via text, and I learned, I took that. Anything that is like quite intense where there's room for interpretation. Have you ever read someone's message and you read it with an attitude?
Oh yeah.
But you don't like,
especially when a man who puts no punctuation or something, you're
no
like,
reason. You don't even know if they were giving an attitude. So because of the misinterpretations, I feel like difficult conversations should be had face to face. I try my very best to do that. You know, sometimes it's not you're not able to do it, but as much as I can, honestly, I try my best to do it. Yeah, but that no barrier is a problem. Another thing that I absolutely hate about, I guess,
it's all
things that we hate.
Maybe this is just
another
thing
thing
about the positives
that I hate about social media is how people share really intense, triggering content without like being mindful, right? I'll give you guys an example. I guess maybe I should say trigger warning. But no, I'm not going to say anything. But actually, this is going to trigger a bad memory. So, the Forest Road incident, right? So, I had no intention of watching that video. I didn't care. I knew something bad had happened. I knew it was about a woman, and I didn't want to see it.
I say I didn't care. That could come across wrong.
What? I didn't care.
You didn't care about what happened.
No, I didn't care about what happened. I didn't care to see it. It's it's enough that I've heard someone else, someone has been hurt. That was enough. I go on my social media, someone posts a video. It's a video, but the trigger warning is in the caption. Tell me
how.
Go. You know, because and it was so traumatizing. You know, I actually had a trapped nerve in my back from just watching that experience. And so that is the way people do it. It's like I guess it's good to share and to spread the news, but it's not mindful. And then people don't consider that if you share something triggering, maybe an experience like that, now it's gonna trigger other people who've been through that. It's not. This is not like we are all observers. Someone maybe is recovering from that same incident. Honestly, the amount of people who I unfollowed that day.
Crazy.
So many.
I know.
So many.
I know.
We've become people who, like, because it's shareable or because you can't share it, there is no sense of guarding the people who you're going to see. It's like you just don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I feel like it sucks that it happens, but I feel like that's not the poster's responsibility because there are many things. I mean, obviously, there's a spectrum of triggers. There's a spectrum of triggers. Obviously, it's horrible, all the way from seeing. I watched a video on TikTok of a person committing suicide.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize what was happening
Trigger
until
warning,
the end.
guys.
Oh God, trigger warning. And I didn't realize till the end, because it's like, you know how you're scrolling through TikTok, and maybe there was a trigger warning at the beginning, but I missed it because I was doing something else. So
Yeah.
by the time I'm turning back here, the person is now hanging from the ceiling.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. It was a lot. But what I think is that there are reasons. There are people who share such content, I guess, for the sake of raising awareness, which is a great thing, because it raises awareness for different things that are happening which are negative. But in reality, anything can be triggering. You sharing about your breakup stories can be so triggering for me, because I remember how my ex-boyfriend broke up with me and then was driving home and died that day.
Yeah.
Now I'm triggered.
So,
Anything can be absolutely triggering. I think what needs to happen is us just being more mindful about staying away from things that trigger us. The number of even Kenyan content creators I've blocked because they share. There's some content, even me, I'm
What
like,
is happening?
even if it's those things of like, oh, do you know there's hunger happening in North Africa or something like that, and it's like a really graphic image or a really graphic video. Me, I can't. I actually can't.
So let
It's
me tell you
tough.
this. Yeah, I don't think it's anyone's responsibility to
Not
kind of
trigger
create
you.
to not trigger me.
Yeah.
However, we know the big ones. We know the things that automatically you know this is a difficult conversation to have. R S. So you even know.
Yes,
You even
I
know.
know.
Yeah. Domestic abuse, like you just know the things which are, I'm not talking about like so much, right? Because everyone's, as you're saying, triggers is different, but those big ones,
So what do you want them to do is put trigger warning before they post it.
not even that. There's some of the ones people who I saw is like there's a screen, like, so basically it's like trigger warning. It's like at 2 seconds or whatever, trigger warning, and they've written what it's going to be. It's like basically kind of a black screen, like for 2-3 minutes, and then they say the subject that is going to be triggering. The 2-3 seconds, you're given a pause to decide what you want to do before scrolling out. And I feel like it's worse here, whereas even abroad, even news outlets on social media, before they post anything, it's like the first picture you're seeing is not going to be what it is.
News outlets
You know?
definitely do, because you see that requires editing, and it's like most people on social media are just
God.
literally forward or just share.
I
Me,
think-
Kwanzaa, it's even more annoying when someone forwards to my DM. People who do that,
Crazy. Honestly,
I'm like, no.
and that's something which I hate, not because I'm old, but I hate because I feel like it's making us it's desensitizing us to really difficult things. Like, like there are so many things that maybe we see now that we're just like, oh, you don't
know.
even move.
You don't even realize how
flinch.
horrific they are. You're right.
You
You're
don't
right.
flinch anymore,
Yeah.
because we're just constantly exposing ourselves to really graphic things. So for me personally, anyone who I'm following, if you even post anything, or if you're having a conversation that is difficult, or it's that requires sensitivity, and you're not doing it in the right way, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also remembering that people's levels of sensitivity are different.
So
and
you
they
even
really
you
range.
me, I won't even go to be telling you, Sijui, what. I'm just exiting.
You're out.
Hey, I'm
I
out.
do that all the time, by the way. I go on your page and I'm ready. And in fact, sometimes it's not even has to be a negative thing. If I'm just watching something, I'm just like, why am I here? Like, what am I getting from this? Instantly, I'll just be like, I might not block that person, but I might mute them, or I might, I don't know,
Something,
restrict or
just-
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah. Let's talk about one positive. Positive of social media, which I experienced a lot in 2022. The ability to make money through social media is one of the best things to happen to the youth in, let's say, especially in the developing world, but also in the developed world. The number of millionaires and billionaires that are being made on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, people who would not maybe have had a chance to get that rich, but now look at them.
Yeah.
Now look at them. I feel like it has opened up opportunities that were not even there before. Literally, for someone like what's her name, Elsa Majimbo, who was just there, just creating these silly little videos. Now look at her, top stage. She's there with all the
She was
Hollywoods.
Forbes under 30 under 30.
There you are.
Crazy.
I know. So it's like the way you said, the world almost is like a dot. You're able to see like the opportunity that's available for the 13-year-old in the States could also be available to you as a 13-year-old here in Kenya.
Yeah.
And I love that. For me personally, obviously I work online, so that's a huge part of my income, but also the fact that I have Wild. And Wild, we have a physical store, but majority of our sales still come from online. The fact that I'm able to post a picture and someone is able to be like, I want this top, and you're able to send it to them via, social media technology as well, being able to send it to them. You literally have never met, but there they are just supporting your business. Or, there you are making money. The number of people who are making money through Instagram businesses, even your products that you're able to do, let's say your masterclass, your workshop, all those things would not have been possible without social media.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
And so the ability, the people being able to just earn money, and it's like an even. Okay, well, it's not really an even slate. Let's be honest.
It's not.
Like you have a better phone, or someone has better connection, or someone has more access to, I don't know, a space to shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes it easier for people to get money, to get rich, and I love that for people.
Yeah, I do. And I okay, so when we were shooting this episode now, and we were just like, so tired or whatever the case may be. And we were like, this is the most work thing. TMI is the most workest thing for us, right?
Yeah.
And what a joy.
What a joy.
What a joy. That was so really true. The way you just reacted.
I was just like, wow, you're right.
What a joy that this is our most work thing.
Yeah.
That
because
we do.
It's scheduled.
Because
and
it's
there are
scheduled
people.
and there are so many people involved. So it's
Yeah.
just like, it requires a really strong commitment. Whereas maybe on our own pages, it's like, it's you. It's just you. You're not accountable to anyone. And so I love that. I love that this is what I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely
love it. And we're here. We can make money. We can build a community.
Imagine.
The whole concept of being able to connect with people who you've never seen, who you've never interacted with, and they end up being your biggest supporters, more even than the people who you know, who you do know.
I'm telling you.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
You're not ready to unpack.
Are you ready for that conversation?
You're not ready to unpack.
Tell us why. Tell us why strangers on the internet will support you more than people who have known you for years.
Yeah. That is
Crazy.
really interesting.
Yeah.
For real. But to be honest, lately now I don't know, because of social media, I've released a lot of, maybe because we are supported by other people, I feel like there's less intensity with like the people around us. I mean, it's good and it's great, but you feel like, like for example, now with Wild, okay, none of your friends have bought, but so many other people have bought.
I know.
I mean, you do want
Actually,
the support from your friends,
but maybe if you didn't have so many people supporting you, it would be even more essential for you to have. It's like, let's say nobody has bought your collection, then even me, I'm not buying. It's like, what? No one has bought. Damn. Hey,
no,
you see?
True.
Then it's So I guess it also just depends. But also I've found that with social media, when people see our lives online, like when someone meets me in person and they're like, oh my God, you're just so, I can literally just say hi. And somebody will message me later and be like, I met you yesterday. You're so lovely. I can't even believe that you're such an amazing person. And I'm like, I literally just said hi. There's a sense in which social media can make somebody romanticize what other people are. But you see, you will see me day to day. So that's why you don't romanticize who I am or whatever. It's like you'll see me day to day. You'll know my flaws or the things that, are not so likable about me. But online, you're only seeing really the positive side. So it's so easy to romanticize what it's like to be somebody. I guess.
But also, as much as there's romanticizing, there's also a pedestal.
Oh yeah.
There's a pedestal which people put you on if you are like a public figure or whatever, because I guess they are only seeing the snippets, as you're saying, the snippets of you.
Yeah.
So then they have like this kind of, it's like Instagram is like your perfectly packaged, I don't know, PR package to everyone about who you are.
Yeah.
So then of course the way you've packaged yourself, the better it is, the more people are gonna put you on that pedestal. And sometimes it is a lot, because I remember I met someone, I think it was someone at the club or whatever. It's like, I'm tired, I was literally going out home. I think it was during the breakup time or whatever, and then I said hi. But because, of all the time being like, oh, hi, good morning, guys, how are you? So that's what you expect. Yeah. Whereas, of course, I get tired.
Times when so
it's like it wasn't an unpleasant experience, but it's just like they really did want me to jump out of the phone and meet them how I meet them in the morning.
Yep.
And that means all the time you need to have that kind of standard. Do you not feel pressure? Like as soon as someone says, hi,
oh my God, hi, how are you?
You automatically go like that.
Even
Whereas,
if you're,
even when I see you, I'm like, hi, babe. You can say hi normally.
I can just be like, hey, how are you? God, I'm so tired.
Yeah, no.
Never to,
Ever.
I'll never forget the day that Mukeni got surgery and I'm literally carrying her on my back, leaving the hospital. And this guy, actually a guy, he was a king betweener. If you're here, literally came up to me. I look so exhausted. I've not slept in like 2 days. And he's like, hey, can we take a picture? Mukeni in her sling, in her arm is on my back. I'm literally like struggling to get to the car. And I was like, no, you can't. And there are sometimes where I just can't help myself. I'm just like, absolutely not. You can't. That was it. And I was just like, and there's something you said earlier about like there's a level of empathy that social media gives you because you're able to see, okay, other people are also going through struggles, but also there's some empathy that people don't have now with social media. It's like people, you see other people on social media, it's like they're not real people.
Yeah,
it's like they see me, it's like I'm not a real person.
That's the pedestal. That's the pedestal. You're not a real person. You're not. You have a standard to uphold, and you need to uphold it. Like that's the other side of that romanticizing. It's like the humanity is gone. And look at the way we treat like even super famous people. It's like they have to be perfect. One small thing, you're cancelled. Like, and the truth is, how many things have you done that are cancelable? A lot.
How many? Just that they're not. Just that people have not discovered and shouted about them on social media.
So there's an unfair sense pressure that's put on public figures. But I guess as we said, you chose the life. Another positive about social media is the way you're able to create positive impact. Just like the same way you're able to create negative, you're able to create positive impact. And one of the most fulfilling things for me for social media is being able to I guess live out my purpose, right? My purpose to, I guess, whatever my purpose is, whatever. But I feel like positive content to me, and I guess maybe that's what I surround myself with, like people like Jay Shetty and all of these motivational speakers and, you know, all of these guides who have been able to really help like hundreds and thousands of people just because they were able to communicate their message out loud on social media. So that's something which, to be honest, I constantly remind myself as to why you do it when you do come on and, you know, someone's having a bad day and they've sent you like this long, detailed message about why they hate you. You remember that you have a purpose. You're doing something for a reason, and then you're able to spread it so much faster because of social media.
What is your purpose? You paused when you said that.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought about that because I was thinking about how to articulate it more than I don't know what it is.
Summarize. Summarize.
I don't know. So I was thinking about the kind of content I create, and I feel like my purpose is tied to be a guide, I guess, to as many people as possible to living life in the lenses of a healed heart. Like that's how I would articulate it. Oh.
That sounds so romantic.
That's the way I would articulate it, because I feel like so many of us have seen so many things in our lives, like, you know, from childhood traumas to, I don't know, pain from relationships, whatever the case may be. And it taints the quality of our life. It taints the way that we see the world. So if I can do something to move the needle forward by helping more people see life through a healed heart, then I feel like that feels like the
love
purpose.
That. That's amazing.
Thanks. I feel like that's what it is.
It sounds so good. Cueing someone saying she's not relatable, she's a motivational speaker. Yeah, the motivational speaker you need. Okay, the motivational speaker you need.
Yeah, so
I love that.
That's what I think, and I a lot of people became what they needed, right? And I feel like this is something that I needed. I didn't have any guidance on, you know, how to navigate life, navigate being from a divorced family, navigate heartbreak. Like, I didn't have any guidance, understand myself, know how to be a more positive person, to have better, to have higher self-esteem. None of that. I literally just kind of blindly found people. And then back then it wasn't as popular. The wellness
space has really only just become sexy.
Now globally it's doing fantastic, but even in Kenya it's still like
in the developing world. I think that's what I was telling you earlier, is that's why you see so much pushback when you talk about the things that you talk about, because it seems so far from where people are right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's also in the context of a lot of people, especially in developing countries, have huge problems they're dealing with beyond their heart.
100%.
It's like, what am I eating? I'm in a come we stay. I was fired last week or whatever. So already dealing with these basic life things, I really can't even be thinking about wellness, heal your heart or whatever. And I think that's what makes it sometimes seem so far away from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's something that is absolutely necessary, and a lot of people are going to start getting into.
It is. And you know what? I empathize. I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have other problems, who cares about affirmations?
Yeah, who
I don't
the fuck
care.
cares?
I
am rich. I'm not. I don't
but I'm
have
not.
money.
But I'm not. Literally, I'm outside, locked out.
Yeah.
I empathize and I get it, but I feel like I share from a perspective of whoever it benefits, it's supposed to, and whoever it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be for that person. And a lot of times, what I find is that someone will hear the same thing over and over again, and then one day they'll be like, "Oh my God,
yes,
yeah." So my
exactly.
job is to do as much as do it as often as possible, and then hopefully it will align.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be a punching bag for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for a while, yeah. You know, the people who do something first, you're
You
the
do
one who's going
something
to go
first,
through
yeah.
the bushes.
Even me,
and
you know,
the-
funny thing, even me, when I started my platform as Yummy Mommy, I used to get a lot of flack about oversharing,
Yeah.
or you're just showing too much. What is your husband okay with this? Whatever. Over time, that really changed into, oh my God, she's like such an authentic creator.
Yeah.
Oh wow, she's just really showing us the truth and
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, oh, y'all changed real quick. Y'all changed real quick. But you see, it's like when people encounter things they haven't before, it's difficult for them to be able to wrap their minds around it,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing. I also love the fact that social media allows people to create positive impact. When I go onto my Instagram and someone is calling me fat or ugly, or, you know, telling me something stupid about my marriage or whatever, then I go into my bank account and I see the positive impact that social media has had on my bank account. I'm like, you know what? It's worth it.
Yeah.
Also the fact that I'm able to work with especially small businesses. I have such a passion for small businesses.
too.
I have, like, I if I could only work with small businesses, I would. Honestly, I have such a passion for them because I feel like I'm tangibly touching someone's life. When I advertise a small business and they come back and tell me, wow, from your ad, I made sales and now I'm able to take my kids to school, or I paid my rent, or, you know, I bought this for my man or my mom. It's like, it's directly financially impacting other people. I love these things of like Mchanga, you know, that people are able to do like this GoFundMe. It's like GoFundMe, Mchanga. People are able to come together, like we are contributing for drought or towards GBV or things like that. Those things wouldn't be possible without social. I mean, they would be possible, but probably a lot more difficult.
be
I love
harder.
being part of that positive change
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Also, being able to have conversations that matter, like TMI.
Like TMI.
Talking about things that impact women, being able, every time a woman comes and says, oh, I didn't know that I could use the cup, I didn't know how to put in the cup, I didn't know about contraception. I'm like, that's a woman's life we have changed, because maybe she would have gotten pregnant next year and then who knows what her life would have been.
Yeah.
But now she's on contraception and she is living her life, you know, happy, sexually free or whatever.
Yeah.
That gives me so much
It's
joy.
true. And therapy. Every time someone tells me
Yeah.
I said therapy because of you, I'm like, honestly, I usually feel like that is my job for the year. That one person who's gone to deal with like something really traumatic that they went through, or
There you
yeah,
are.
you're right. It's
Yeah.
true. That's it.
It
That's
feels
actually
amazing.
the best thing to me
Yeah.
about social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, social media is quite great. Anyway,
Let's
here's
go back
a
to the negative.
Let's go back to, those ones were interesting. Let's talk about the concept of like self-image, like self-image issues that people get from social media. Research has shown that the teens who are growing up right now are like the most depressed, the most anxious, the most in love with themselves, because they are online here seeing beautiful, perfect people with perfect makeup and perfect bodies and perfect hair and whatnot, and they're comparing themselves. You know, us when we're growing up, it's just like we're all looking ghetto. Ain't nobody care, because we are not. I'm not constantly seeing these people who are just here with their makeup and whatever, but they're seeing that, and to them it's like, this is how other people are looking. Are you looking like this?
I know. What's that documentary on Netflix?
The Social Network.
The Social Network.
Yeah. Oh, that was eye-opening.
Please go and watch it if you
Eye-opening.
haven't watched it. Majority of the people who started a lot of these apps, they're like, my child will absolutely never have social media, like until they're grown up. They're like, it's not even a question. All
Yeah.
of them said that. Yet
There you are.
yeah.
It's really difficult
It
though,
is.
because also, how do you keep your child away from social media? It's tough.
How it's
tough.
It's
My son,
near impossible.
yeah, my son is at that age where he's like appreciating social media, and we've told him he can't be on like TikTok or Instagram, or okay, he's on YouTube. He even has a YouTube channel for gaming.
I am a subscriber.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He appreciates that. I know. But yeah, so it's difficult to keep them away from that, because they're not with you all the time. So even you'll just be like, oh, you can't go on this, but are you with, like, how are you going to check? How are you going to know?
it's really tricky with parents. It's so tricky because you don't know. And
so
if it's like, if
tricky.
yes, that they can have it, then what age is appropriate? Because
Yeah.
like everyone else in school, this is how people are connecting. You don't want to kind of isolate your child. It's
Yeah.
really.
And then how do you stop them from being victims of predators online?
Oh,
Because
my God.
that's a whole other conversation.
It is.
Just like,
And you think in Kenya is bad. Let me tell you. Pedophilia abroad it's a pandemic.
Seriously.
I'm so serious. Like, do you know when we were growing up, like the amount of big news that broke of like, you know, the middle-aged men kidnapping and, you know, maybe sexually assaulting and killing little girls. Like literally I can even tell you, like, it's like these are I remember how old I was when this one died. I remember how, I mean, that's, you benchmark your growing up based on the
that
tragedy of it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I've watched a ton of documentaries about this because, you know, it's like you just try to kind of understand like what is happening here, but it's devastating. It's a problem.
Yeah, if you're a mom here, tell us what you think about that. There are some resources that I follow on Instagram, which I will, I think I'll share them on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me, Murugi Munyi, where people share how to keep your children safe online, because it requires so much intentionality. Like you can't just like, oh, you just do what you're doing, because kids are so susceptible to these things. Like literally the smallest promise could get them through the door of that predator. So it can be really, really scary.
Unfortunately, as we keep saying, the problem with social media is that you're in your life 100% of the time and you're just seeing like these snapshots of other people's lives. So when you're having a bad day, it's like, and somebody posts a picture, maybe they had the biggest argument with their boyfriend, but that's not what you saw.
The TMI episodes we shot when Lydia was going through her breakup, you did not see that before it, she's had a whole crying meltdown. But of course, we can't now start like, oh, Beryl, just start shooting. Now you're crying. I mean, we obviously can't do that. And that's why people will be like, oh, did you even feel bad about your breakup? She did. She went through it. But of course, we can't. So then you're there benchmarking your healing journey based on somebody whose life you're not actually seeing. You're there thinking, looking at your body. Somebody has photoshopped their cellulite off their thighs.
Problem,
and you're there saying, okay, how come she's like my body type, but she doesn't have cellulite? Maybe she does. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I think it takes a lot of practice, because we are all human. You're going to compare. Like that just happens. But it takes a lot of practice to intentionally expose yourself to what isn't triggering. Like for me personally, that's one of the things. Who I follow, I think I have like maybe, I don't know, like 500 people who I follow, something like that. It's like a small number, because I like to keep it containable, because I don't want to overexpose myself. And sometimes you can unfollow someone because every time you do go on there, you feel bad about your life, not because they're a bad person, but you're unable. There's not enough barrier or whatever it is that they're showing keeps triggering bad feelings in you. You can actually remove yourself from that space. I feel like because now, like, I'm following someone is like it's an insult.
It's an insult. And then tomorrow, Lydia KM unfollows.
It literally, it's a fight. So usually people feel like, oh no, like I shouldn't do that. And people always ask me this, like, oh, this is happening, or this person's having a really good time, or they have like a successful job, or whatever, and I'm really struggling. I always say it's good to share with your friends. If you're going through something difficult, you can just share with them, like, this is what's happening. And also, if you have a relationship outside, social media doesn't have to be your relationship. We are working on that, because a lot of the times our relationship was social media. You're able to, you can draw the boundaries and protect yourself, and because it's not like you have a problem with this person or what they're doing, it's just it's triggering stuff with you. I feel like it's good to have those boundaries.
Crazy.
Oh, the next one, another bad
one.
Let
me give a positive one.
Okay.
Is it really positive? No, it's not positive. It's negative, actually. So social media has, when you watch that documentary about the social network, it tells you about how they play with like your hormones, your dopamine, about how you like post a picture, okay, you've gotten 1,000 likes and you're feeling so great. You post another one and then it got 10 likes, and now you're just wondering like, okay, fine, wait, what was wrong with that one? You start getting addicted to the affirmation that people are giving you about how pretty you are, about how amazing you are, and it stops being about like, I know I'm amazing because I'm an amazing person and I affirm myself. now I'm reliant on other people. This gets really difficult, especially for content creators.
Yeah.
I guess everybody would experience this, but like especially for content creators, because you're always getting so much love. Sometimes it's like you'll go through a period like, oh, okay, now we have cancelled Lydia because she, I don't know, wore pink pants, you know, and then now you start, it's like almost like you're missing something. Like now your self-esteem is gone, now you're depressed, now you're anxious because there's no one around to keep telling you, oh my God, you're amazing, oh my God, your hair is so great, oh my God, this, that's a really dangerous cycle that we are in. It's a really dangerous cycle.
And another thing is that you kind of get desensitized again to praise and love. So it's just like, before I'm overwhelmed with joy about what someone has said, it's like it takes a while now.
It's like, oh babe, your man just tells you, oh, you're so pretty. Yeah, but whoever that guy on Instagram was telling me, the sun rises and sets from your ass. And you're just telling me I'm pretty.
It's true. You start using that as kind of like the benchmark of maybe how you see yourself or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that is definitely a problem. And with content creators, especially with content, because content is really an expression of yourself, because it's something which you had in your mind and now it's being expressed outward. So when somebody even doesn't like or it doesn't perform well, it does affect you, because it feels like it's a rejection of you.
Exactly.
More than the picture or the video or whatever. It's more, it's so personal. It's so personal.
Okay, can I let me admit something. So you've just said that you know, Instagram has been doing this thing where you can turn off the number of likes that you've gotten. So it just says Lydia KM and others.
Yeah.
But for some reason, whenever I see like a content creator has turned off the likes, I'm just like,
do you do it manually or
you do it manually?
Oh, no, sorry, what I mean, do you do it in each individual pictures, or is this just like turn off?
I think you can have turn off all, I think, or you can do it in individual pictures.
So you feel like the engagement is not good.
Yeah, I'm like if it was high, you would just leave it there, right?
Oh yeah? Okay, so actually I do think that too.
Yeah.
But sometimes I see someone's content that's really amazing. I'm like, there's no way this doesn't have like hundreds of thousands
but
of likes.
But it's amazing to you.
Oh my God.
To you.
No, but if I'm seeing the comments, like comments is just like 200-300. I'm like, there's no way this doesn't have at least 5,000 likes. So I started seeing that it might not really be about hiding it because it's not performing well, because I'm just like, this person is definitely, I know.
So what is the reason to hide? Why don't you hide? Let me ask like that. Why don't you hide that?
Even when it was introduced, I was just like, I don't like, why would I hide it? I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I've never considered to take them off.
I don't know. When I think about it, I'm just like, okay, why do I have them there in the first place? It's for me. It's like that's just the way it's always been. So that's why they're there.
Yeah,
right.
I'd never.
But do you think having them there is like a stamp? Like other people can see how loved you are. Other people can see how many people like your picture.
Yeah. I feel like because that's how it's always been, I feel like it just feels like I'm just continuing the way things were.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, because it's always been like that. So let's just do it.
Yeah.
But I do like that that's an option for people, especially if you're somebody who's like, you know, you feel a bit funny about like, you know, how many likes or whatever. I think it's a good way to shield yourself if you...
But you yourself, I think you can still see how many likes there are.
You do.
So how does it help? It's just that other people can't judge you by the number of likes you get.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you fall on your own, it's like that's shameful. But if you fall in a crowd of people,
now
it's
a
embarrassing.
Story. Yeah.
It's not necessarily just about the likes. It's like other people are going to see those likes. That might make you feel like, oh, other people are seeing these likes. And by the way, I released this thing with likes, you know. It's great.
These days, I don't even feel like I go back to check how many. But I see how it's important for like content creators. If you're trying to like increase your stats, and you're trying to like see, okay, what kind of content performs better. If you're trying
in the beginning, you definitely
need to. But me, I feel like I don't really. I mean, because, you know, and
I guess it's because of experience.
I guess just experience. Because me, even I realize the number of times I'm scrolling through my feed and I'm seeing things I like, but I haven't liked them. And I try to be really intentional about liking other creators or like anything I see or subscribing to things that I like, so that I can be like, okay, I'm supporting this person. They have taken time to create this great content, and I'm going to like it. If I do like it, I will like it.
Yeah.
You know, kind of
especially,
thing.
Or like if something like touches me, oh my God, I'm always going to say. I'm always going
to
say. I'll tell the person. Sorry. What's another
positive one?
Yeah, another no.
Let me tell you a positive. Let me tell you a
Positive
positive.
impact,
Let me
that's
tell you a
it.
positive. So, I saw. I've been seeing a lot of quotes about like people sharing their relationships online. There was someone saying, today I just saw it on someone's stories. Actually, when we're in bed, that having a private relationship means that what we are doing is private, but people know that we are together. And I was like, that's so interesting because it's like I feel like okay, there's different concepts. Like people want to have a private relationship where no one even knows that you're with anyone. Literally, there's a guy and a content creator who got married like 2 weeks ago. And it's like there's been no posting about it or anything. The only people who posted about it is like the people who were there at the wedding. So if you weren't following the other people, you wouldn't even know that they are married. And then the babe was celebrating her birthday, and the guy posted on his story with her a picture with her, and it was like, "Happy birthday, my day one." I'm like, "This is your wife." And I was like, I don't know. I just felt like there was something kind of wrong with it. I was just like, I don't know. Are you okay with that?
Wait.
Happy birthday, my day one.
Oh, instead of saying my baby or
we are
whatever.
married now. We are married. Like we are married. Happy birthday, my day one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Even when you said you thought something wrong, I was still searching what's wrong. Maybe that's
so
what they call it. No, it's not
No.
me. What would I be okay with? It's just like I can't necessarily say that that's all for them.
For me personally, I know that people have like a concept about like just because your man doesn't post you doesn't mean he doesn't love you or that he's hiding anything.
You said that.
For me, I said that.
ago.
Yes. However, for me personally, as Morugi, there's something to be said about someone publicly claiming me.
Agreed.
And publicly in this context is on social media because that's where everyone is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that you're flaunting your relationship online or whatever. For you, I already know the second you get into a relationship, you're not posting that man.
Yeah.
Lydia will literally be on baby number 3 before she posts and tells you guys that she's
You think
married.
So?
Yeah.
You have so much faith in me. I love it.
do.
I don't have that.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
2 minutes into the relationship.
No,
you're
not
posting.
2 minutes in the relationship, but me.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
I mean, I want to believe that's who I am.
Yeah.
I want to believe it.
This is what I think actually. I think you are going to post so that people know that you have a man.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to be posting details the way you posted the other time about all like we are moving in together or this is what happened. We are trying. No,
I definitely won't do that. And if I do, it will be in like it will be packaged differently. Actually, that's it. I will probably still share, but it will be packaged
differently.
very, very differently. So for me, what I feel is like social media is an expression of yourself. So it's like, it's like whether it's your picture or your life or whatever the case that you do. And if that person is like that as well. Because if it's the person who's posted one picture and it's like a picture of a cat,
tiger.
I get it. This is not your thing. This is not what you do.
Yeah.
But because I feel like social media is an expression of who you are, I feel like sometimes it's weird when there is nothing like, or you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels weird
It's
to me.
strange.
Yeah.
Also, I love that social media has, I mean, to some extent, it offers some sort of insurance.
Yeah.
Because if you now decide you have a man and now you've posted him, if that man is someone else's man, that babe is probably going to find you and come and tell you, oh, but that's my man.
I actually always say it's like,
Post him
why
early.
do you want to see your boyfriend's ratio on Facebook? Because if you post who the person is, it's like, we just know, especially me as a public figure. So me, I'm here with someone who really is out here all over the place.
You want to know.
I want to know. I feel like, let me at least soft launch you.
Yeah.
Right? We know who's coming to me as a woman.
And then people on Instagram these days, they can find, even you just post a hand like this, they have already found the side of his watch is the side of the watch that was posted by someone else during 2013.
Yeah, I personally believe like I'm not going to, if I don't want to post my man, it needs to be for many other reasons except for the fact that
the fear that you might find out that he's some.
Let me know now.
That's the thing.
To Juange Mapema, and then you go. Because now instead of going 2 years, when you post on your wedding,
now there she is coming to you as a woman on your wedding day. You're crying.
Yeah, let's just be knowing.
You're crying in your
was that a
wedding
good
dress.
one?
Was that a good one? It was a good one.
Yeah.
It was, right? It was a good one, yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, continue with the good ones.
Okay, fine.
What a negative thing about social media is that I feel like we are disconnected. We are not as together. As I speak right now, there is somebody who's on their phone. Actually, everyone is on their phones as we shoot.
You see? Shoot on their phones.
Every person here.
In the last episode, did you see Nancy fell asleep? I saw you. I saw you were asleep. You were. Tell me I'm lying. She did. I looked up and she was like, and I was like, she didn't even notice me do that. If we are boring, just say.
Wow.
Have I bored you?
So anyway, that people have said that like we are able to connect with more people, but now we are a lot more disconnected.
It's
so
true.
like when you're with your people, we are not as present anymore. We are constantly thinking about like we are more in a space of the world, the Instagram or the TikTok world, more than like this world. This world feels is like it's like what we are doing part-time, kind of. And then there's this other world where we like
where the real world is.
Where the real world
in fact,
is.
it's so strange. Which is why when we don't post for a day, we're just like, oh my God, now I need to get on because they don't know what I've done. Like, have I done anything?
Yeah. It's a problem.
So fucking weird.
Like, this is real life. And then everything else after is like, it's just posting about it. But it feels like your identity and Instagram and TikTok, that's kind of your life.
You know, I really struggle with this. And I struggle with this a lot. Like, there are times when I feel like I've connected with somebody because I've already seen what was happening on their stories. I've responded. We've done ha, 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 ha. And I know now we are updated with each other's lives, you know. But, like, we aren't really.
Not at all.
We aren't. Actually, I had this conversation.
I think you're better, though.
I'm getting a lot better.
I remember, I think, even on my there's a birthday, you didn't call me.
Oh yeah, I remember
because she posted on my story.
And I was like, she's seen you've responded to what I said about you.
That's it. That's the happy birthday, and we are friends. You like my actual friend. I was just like, what?
Okay, fine. Yeah, then you called me out, and you see now I feel like I'm definitely intentional about that. And one thing I've realized is that there's a difference between social media friends and friends. By the way, there are people who on social media we are like besties.
Yeah.
But like literally, I would never meet this person for like, oh, let's go and have a coffee. I wouldn't because they're just social media friends.
Yeah.
The other day, we were actually having a conversation about this with Zach. So he sent me a forward on Instagram, which was talking about how when you're with somebody, like you're with a client or with somebody, and you're just holding your phone, maybe you're not even on your phone, but you're just holding your phone as you're talking to them, it's like they don't feel like they're the most important thing in the room. So when he sent that to me, I was like, babe, you think I'm like that? And he's like, yeah, you're always holding your phone. Even in bed, you'll be holding your phone. And I'm like, oh my God. And now I'm so conscious about it. I'm like, I want it to be, it's not even close to me, because holding your phone is like you're telling someone, I'm waiting for you to finish so that I can get back to what I was doing before. So I really try to not be that way now.
But I get it. It's because of the amount of times, the amount of hours you're on social media, how
it's
often
the fact that
we earn from social media. There's so much on that social media. So sometimes finding the right balance of like, this is work and I need to be doing it and being present. But honestly, that 1 week off that I took in September changed so much of my perception on social media. The way I show up, the way I feel like it's me who is determining, because I feel like it's like it runs from you. It feels like you are running. It's just, why are you running?
In fact,
are you going?
I mean, that towards the end of the year, I think is when I've really gotten into that thing of like, I don't have to go on to say good morning. I if I'm not in the mood to say good morning, I'm just going to not post until when I feel like I'm in the mood to post.
Yeah, I'm learning to be my own pacemaker, because sometimes, especially because of constantly posting on stories the way that we do, it can feel like it's running, like you're always late somewhere. There's always something that you're not doing. There's you just I don't want that that energy anymore, and it can sometimes take away from the love that you have. I'm also learning to be more of a take or whatever, like, because moments are easy to take takes a second, but the posting, that's when it's an issue. So it's like you can just take, then you sit down 10 minutes, you post, you go back into your life. That feels to me like way sorry bro. Even by the way, even the last episode as well, I was like because I talk with my hands, it's just so in the way. But yeah, so I feel like it's important to have that boundary, and I think I'm working pretty good at finding that balance.
Everyone is so distracted. We are distracted all the time.
Yeah, we are. And one of the things I'm learning to do now, I'm trying my best to be doing, is putting my phone in my bag when I'm out at dinner. Isn't it always on the table?
You're putting it in your bag?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Exactly. it's like it's there. At least I've graduated to putting it down.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on putting it in my bag,
Putting it in
because
your bag,
why
yeah.
is it here? You know, it's like
It's like
your
in
little
case. It's there in case.
in case what? And almost always it needs to be in reach so that you can
Yeah.
easily grab and do something.
And check.
But I'm trying not to do that, because it's taking away from the quality of the experiences of your actual life.
Forget alcohol and drug addiction. Social media addiction is the new pandemic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, everything is a pandemic with us, isn't it?
It's a pandemic.
Everything
And you know it. It's a pandemic and you know it. It really is, guys.
I think I'm addicted to social media.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, every night, especially like these, I think when the busier I am, the more I feel like when it gets to evening and like now I'm being able to decompress from the day. I get into bed, let's say it's like 9:30 or 10 and the kids have gone to sleep. And it's like, I want to sleep early so that I'm not tired tomorrow morning. Why am I still scrolling at 12:30?
Do you know what? I read a post about this. It has a word. Everything has a word these
Apparently.
days. I can't remember what the word is, sorry, because it just sounded so weird. Essentially, if you spend majority of your day doing things that are more for others, you almost... it's like it has a word that has revenge. You take back that time.
Exactly. And that's
at the end of the
exactly what I always feel like I'm doing. It's like, okay, I've been working and then we met up and then now I was with Zach or I was with the kids, and now it's just like I just want my own time. But I really don't like last night. I honestly was like, now we have shoot day tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep at 10:30.
Yeah.
Nope, I did not
You
sleep
didn't.
at 10:30.
That scrolling at the end of the night, I do not do.
How do you not? Do you
I
just
just
not
stop.
go on, or do you go on for 10 minutes and get off?
Like on, and you know, like lately I kind of I sign off a bit early or whenever I can. I just doing that before bed is going to taint the quality of your sleep, and I
And it
love my
does.
sleep so much. I love my sleep so much. Like,
need
I try
to.
my best, like an hour or so before I'm not scrolling at all. And I just, but I think it took practice, because I don't think I ever used to
need
be that way.
Please.
And also the
I
first
need
thing when I
that
come in
so
the morning,
bad.
I don't go on Instagram. I do not go on
Me,
Instagram.
I've not even found out if I'm able to talk. If I have the ability to walk, I'm already finding out that, you know, I've seen Lydia's affirmation. I've seen someone else's baby waking up. I've seen Millie Chebi posting from Nigeria. And now there we are.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Am I alive? Am I
No.
okay?
Yeah, when I first wake up, I don't touch it. One of the things I'm actually, WhatsApp is social media, and obviously I guess because of work. So anytime I wake up, right, and maybe I've woken up and my PA has messaged me,
I was just about to say that.
I
That is the
know.
most triggering part
There
of...
is no way I don't look. There is no way, because I want to know. Tell me what my day is
You
like.
go, here's your message. Also pending
Tell
from
me.
yesterday's.
Oh
Or
my
you need to
God.
send me.
And also, I feel like she wakes up way too early. She wakes up so early. Then these reminders. The reminders are coming in of the things you need to do. I mean, I feel like that's the one which I'm struggling with. Actually, almost always, if I see my PA messaging me, there is no way I don't immediately go into
So
that
how
message.
can we get out this? Either we just let them go.
Because I'll die.
Because
So
I
no.
mean, please, okay, so not that.
Yeah.
And then also the reason why I check at that time is because I need to know, maybe there's something that I'm like,
Yeah,
today I
for
didn't
the
check.
job.
And then I was now on my way out of the house and she had said, oh, make sure you carry this and this and this.
No.
I didn't carry anything.
Yeah. Maybe you forgot to do something. So that's one of the things which is like, I don't know how to not, because maybe sometimes she does need something from me. So now
Yeah.
it's like, can't have boundaries that way because it's work. It has to be done. So that's the other one.
We need to
At
actually have
least
something about social media boundaries.
I
because-
meditate.
Yeah.
And I listen to, like, what I do in the morning is like, there's this, it's just like affirmations. So I'll listen to soft music as maybe I do my bed, and then I'll just be doing affirmations. I want to do those ones first before anything else. The issue is that, it's that Gloria.
Honestly. It's that Nance. Honestly.
That one, please, I think I'm working on, but Instagram or something like that, no, because I
Yeah,
feel like
I
my
need
mind is not
boundaries with
prepared.
Instagram.
I haven't gotten myself together. I don't know what's happening with myself, and then that means if like the first thing I see is now like this no trigger warning post, that's it. Your day's done.
It's
Or you
actually
come
so
up and then the
annoying.
first one of, like, when you see your notification, the first comment is ugly.
I know, like,
just
I
woke
hate your
up.
content. Why are you guys here? And then that comment has 500 likes.
I just don't want to do that in the beginning
Yeah.
of the day and at the end.
No, I actually
Definitely.
honestly just want to... I don't know what else can I do to relax at the end of the day if it's not scrolling through social media, because like, I mean, I play Candy Crush. That's pretty nice. Is Candy Crush social media?
I don't
It
think
has
so.
a
That's
social
a game.
media element to it, though.
Yeah?
Because like you have friends, you can chat with friends. That's also social media.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Maybe, I don't know, but do you know what
I can
shows?
read. I watch shows. Okay, yeah, I guess I would have more time for shows, but I'm always scrolling.
No,
So
you
actually, yeah,
should.
maybe I should do more
Because you need to
scrolling.
replace, if you want to change a habit, you need to immediately
Replace with
replace it with
something else,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, and also where you put your phone, you know? Also, the minute, if you stop being on social media like 2 hours before you sleep, the way you sleep, for me, that is my greatest motivator.
Seriously.
Because
I need to try that,
well.
because me, I've been struggling. Even my sleep has. I mean, I take long to fall asleep generally, but when I'm asleep, I'm okay.
If you're on your phone scrolling, it does take you longer because it's stimuli. You're getting stimulated, and then now it's time to help your body relax.
Relax, yeah.
And now you need to relax before you sleep, because that's what you always need to do. You need to relax before you sleep. You need to rest before you sleep. So now your body is trying to rest, then fall asleep, as opposed to you are already resting and now it's time to sleep.
You're right. Yeah. Oh God, I'll report back, guys. I'll report back and tell you how that goes, because girl,
I think it was difficult for me to. Actually, it's a 5 a.m. that changed it for me, because one of the things is like you're not on social media from 9 p.m. So then I just got into that habit in those six days, and now it just feels strange to me
to do it,
to scroll and then go to bed. Then you're sleeping and you're dreaming of Mama Olive's babies. Why? I dreamt of Olive.
Wow,
There's no. Why?
There you are.
Why? Because that's the last thing you were watching. Her babies.
And then now you've gone to sleep.
No.
Yeah, it can actually be quite annoying.
It is.
I'm going to report back. I'm actually going to try and do it.
Yeah.
From tonight, because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired.
You are? So am I. I don't have another good one. All of mine were bad except for that
another
first one.
good one that I thought of is that COVID, many people lost their jobs during COVID, and without social media, a lot of people wouldn't be able to work remotely, because there are so many people who have been able to work remotely after COVID, even when now offices have opened and whatnot. I think a lot of money has been saved from being able to work remotely. I remember those were like the best days when Zach was working from home. It was so lovely. It's like you're at work, but also you're not at work because you're here. You know, I love the fact that people can work remotely because of Zoom and things like that. I know lots of people who have been able to find employment, even if it's not content creation, but find employment, or even learn online skills. You know, all these classes, you can do things. You can literally get a master's online. Some people even get PhDs, you know, and you're studying remotely. You could literally be getting a degree from University of London, and you're right here in Westlands.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that has completely changed
the face of the earth.
The face of how we look at work and life, and it's changed everything. So I think that's a really good one, because a lot of people saw, even they created opportunities with themselves, maybe if they lost their job or something like that they were able to do to have more time with their family, because well, we're here now, so what are we going to do?
I know.
Yeah, that's a really positive one.
Yeah. A negative one? Let's end on a negative note.
Yeah,
let's end on a negative
note. So I guess this is the same way. Another thing that I don't like about social media is that sometimes the way people project their stuff, right, you're not always able to separate yourself from that projection. So for example, as I said, because of how we create content, it feels like it's yours personally, but if a big group of people are now, like, you know, coming at you like fast or whatever the case may be, it feels like it's real. Right? And Joe always tells me this.
Always saying
so the small group of people who are like maybe attacking you at that time or whatever the case may be, because they're gathered together,
they're loud.
It seems so loud.
Yep.
But the truth is, it's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. It's not real, and it's not even the majority of what other people think of you.
Yeah.
So that not being able to separate yourself between this is someone's opinion of me and this is me can be difficult.
Yeah,
it can be really very difficult.
And actually, being I mean, in real life, there are many people who you can interact with or face who don't like you, but they won't say out loud, I don't like you. Online, now you get to see that negativity, and it can really be difficult. I mean, I've been through my share of like social media bashing and things like that, and sometimes it's really hard for you to be like, wait, but if so many people are saying you're such a pretender, am I actually then a pretender? Maybe I am. Like maybe because how can all these people have they gotten together to now identify this is the pretender? I mean, sometimes it really can make you doubt yourself.
Yeah, you can. You can actually start believing that is a characteristic. I talked about this yes the last episode when I was being called whatever unrealistic and stuff like that. I was just like, am I unrealistic? Because I was just like, what did I say that was not true to my real world? You actually do sit down to ask yourself, like, yeah, maybe I am a damn bitch, because 20 people have said it in a row. 20 people have said you are a damn bitch in a row. You're just like, am I dumb? The number of times, even me, whenever I get the messages about that I project a fake version of my marriage, I'm just, first of all, I ask myself, I'm like, how much acting would have to go into me coaching Zach to pretend to be happy and in love? And then me, every time, always having to be like, okay, it's time. Are you ready to act? Okay, fine, act happy. Kiss me. Kiss me right now. And I'm like, the reality is that people's relationships are complex. People's lives are complex, and you can never be able to understand it from over there. It's just impossible. And that doesn't make it fake. It doesn't make it anything. If you don't understand it, you just don't understand it. It doesn't make it fake. And have you ever seen Zach doing a talking TikTok? Not coachable. He is not the actor coachable, in the family. He is not the actor. Yeah, it makes you think, like, you question yourself. You do. But honestly, as you always tell me, it's just the gathering makes it seem so loud. Yeah, makes it seem so loud.
And then today you're the one trending. Tomorrow everyone has forgotten. It's someone else trending. It's the next day it's a third person trending. And then it just moves like that, which I guess is a good thing, but also can be a bit of a negative thing. It can be a negative thing. So you've always advised me on that to do that, and now I'm practicing it as well. I think actually, if more than one person says something, I'm always willing to sit down and analyze, right? Like, genuinely, how is this the truth? Like, is this the truth? Or is this like how a few people are perceiving me, right? Because the people who are perceiving you that way have the same mindset. That's what we forget. It's like they have the one mindset, and then there's other people who have a different mindset. So they are viewing you from that perspective because they are like-minded themselves, if you get my point. So it's good to sit and analyze and ask yourself, like, is that the way I'm coming off? Is this true? But then eventually, sometimes it's just like, they just don't like me. They just don't like you, okay. Yeah. Also, with social media, good news travels fast, bad news travels way faster.
Oh my God.
Way faster. way faster, my God. Hey.
Gosh. And that's another thing. It's like we like that.
Yeah. People love hearing negative things happening to someone else.
Yeah.
It's just, we said that in the last episode. It's like misery loves company. They love it when you're going through a breakup. They love it when, things are going wrong with you. They love it when you're being trolled on social media. But now, when you're on top of the world, you ain't sharing the news that, we got this fund. You ain't sharing the news that, I'm in love and I'm engaged. Nope. They love it when you're miserable.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But anyway, that's social media. I had majority things, which is just, the things which I come across and I'm just like, this is really annoying. I had more of those, but social media 100% is, for me, I guess, or for us, is like one of the best things because of the way it allows us to live out our lives, to work, to create positive impact, as we've said, and we absolutely love it. But the other stuff,
I mean, this other stuff is just like,
it's just what you've got to go. It's just what you've got to go through.
Sometimes I ask myself, if I was like to win, I don't know, like $20 billion or $20 million right now, would I still keep creating content on social media? And I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like I would, because even when I started, it wasn't for money, but I probably wouldn't still be a content creator the way that I am right now.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like it would, just because it really, anytime you post anything about yourself, which is in any way related to your like personality or your character or something that you're going through, you really open yourself up for, for ridicule, for, you're just vulnerable, for criticism or whatever. And let me tell you, no matter what it is you post, even you post a picture of this cup, trust me, some bitch will have something to say.
Yeah, they will.
Someone will have something to say.
I would say that one thing which I keep telling myself now with social media is that I'm only interested with the people who have the courage to open themselves up. Those are the people who I'm listening to now, because you can't conceptualize what it's like to put yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, not to say that I don't listen to anyone who isn't, but I feel like, especially if it's something about, you know, your oversharing or whatever the case may be, you don't do it. You don't do this. So even to be able to conceptualize what it takes to be vulnerable, to be open, to put yourself out there, you don't know. You're really judging from like the outside. I think it's Brene Brown. Is it Brene Brown? I think it's Brene Brown. I think that's her name. And she says that unless you are here in the mess and, you know, getting in dirty and sweating, and you are here the one fighting, I'm not really interested in the critic who's on the sideline just looking out, making comments of just what's happening, right? And it's ill-informed, you don't have the right information, and they're not even the way you're articulating yourself as well is harmful. So silence. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some days when I go into my social media and I'm just like, today I don't have the wherewithal to respond to anyone's DM. I literally don't go into my DMs at all. Let's say if I'm not feeling like I'm strong enough to I know.
Yeah. No. Some days are like
some days you just like, I can't, or you open one and you're just like, you know what, today I can't. I really can't, because there are so many conversations. There's people who want help with their situation. There's people who are giving you you know, like, oh, don't take this the wrong way, but then there are people who are just like, I don't mean to offend you, but, you know, there's so many different ones. And for some reason, sometimes I feel like, why is it just the ones I click are the bad ones? I know there are many positive ones, but why have I just clicked the bad ones?
I don't know. Like, if you, especially if you go up and like the first three, dog, cow, bitch. I'm out.
Dog, cow.
I'm
is
out.
this a farm? Old McDonald's?
What is this? You know, it's just like, I don't think I'm clicking on the fourth one. So there needs to be boundaries with that as well.
Yeah, maybe that's something we can talk about on our Instagram, is what kind of social media boundaries do people have, and how has it helped them. So we're going to be talking about that a bit more on our Instagram. Do follow us there if you're not already following us, TMI Podcast KE.
Yeah. Do you have any more?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay, fantastic. Good. Well,
I feel like with social media we could really go on and on. There's a million, but we just want to hear a bit more from you guys. So you guys let us know in the comments if you're listening. Is there anything we've mentioned that has resonated with you, or other points that perhaps we didn't mention, both positive and negative, that you would like to talk about?
And I think we talked about this in the last one. If you find yourself defending why you were awful to somebody else, stop, because just because it's social media, just because they posted it, just because they have opened their comments, whatever the case may be, does not give you the right to be cruel to this person. It just doesn't. And think about what it says about you, because that's you, that's your expression, those are your words, those are the things that you are saying yourself. I would love people to be more considerate, but since the world is a mixture of people who are kind, people who are not, then social media is going to be too. But yeah, guys, let us know how you, some of the things that you love about social media, some of the things that you find difficult about social media. Let us know in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. We'll probably have this conversation on our social media as well, just so that we can see your answers like real life. So follow us on social media as well, so you can be seeing that. But until the next episode,
which will be in February.
Yes.
Right?
It will be in February.
See you guys
in February. Bye.
Bye. I was going to high five you. I was like, bye.
Bye.